December 1979. Afghanistan is a nation tearing itself apart. In a matter of hours, a single, brutal assassination is about to ignite a 10-year war, bleed a superpower dry, and permanently alter the geopolitical landscape. Hafizullah Amin has just seized the Afghan presidency in a bloody internal coup, but his grip is failing. Deep within the Kremlin, the KGB watches with mounting paranoia, fearing Amin might pivot to the West. Soviet leadership makes a ruthless calculation. Amin must be eliminated. Paralyzed by fear of his own people, Amin requests Soviet military assistance to guard his heavily fortified new headquarters, the Tajbeg Palace. Moscow happily obliges. They secretly deploy a highly classified Spetsnaz unit, dressed in Afghan uniforms, directly into the palace's outer defenses. It is a perfect Trojan horse. The original assassination plan is quiet and untraceable. A KGB operative, planted deep inside the palace kitchen, slips a lethal, untraceable toxin directly into the president's soup. Amin collapses, falling into a deep coma. Rushing to his side, the doctors desperately pump Amin's stomach, inadvertently saving the man their own government is trying to kill. With the quiet option ruined, the KGB is forced to execute a terrifyingly violent backup plan, Operation Storm 333. As night falls, elite KGB strike teams Zenith and Grom move into position. The Afghan capital is plunged into darkness. The military is entirely deaf and blind. Outside the palace, the undercover Soviet guards drop their disguise, suddenly turning their weapons on the very Afghan soldiers they were sent to protect. From the perimeter, heavy Soviet Shilka anti-aircraft cannons are lowered to ground level. They unleash a blinding, devastating wall of fire directly into the palace, pinning down Amin's fiercely loyal personal guard. The heavy rounds chew through the thick stone architecture. Under the cover of this blistering barrage, the KGB strike teams pile into armored personnel carriers, driving straight up the exposed, winding mountain road. Taking heavy casualties, the operatives reach the summit. They violently breach the heavy wooden doors of the fortress. What follows is a masterpiece of close-quarters violence. The KGB teams clear the dark marble corridors, room by room. Fighting through thick smoke and flying plaster. Grenades tear through the lavish staterooms. The defense of the palace is systematic, but the Soviet advance is entirely relentless. They finally breach the executive quarters. Hafizullah Amin, still wearing his medical garments from the poisoning earlier that day, realizes the horrifying truth: his protectors are his executioners. The target is eliminated. Within hours, a pre-recorded broadcast hits the airwaves, falsely claiming a popular uprising has overthrown a tyrant. A Soviet loyalist is installed in his place. By dawn, the Soviet 40th Army begins rolling massive armored columns across the border to secure their newly installed puppet regime. Operation Storm 333 was a flawless tactical decapitation, but it was a catastrophic strategic miscalculation. Moscow believed this swift action would stabilize the region in a matter of weeks. Instead, they kicked open a hornet's nest. The invasion triggered a massive, grueling proxy war. It would draw in billions in covered Western funding, completely exhaust the Soviet military, and accelerate the total collapse of the Soviet Union. A cold awakening for a dying empire. A single, violent footprint in the snow that the world would never be able to erase.